Phase one, phase two. Those are the terms you want to understand. Now, a phase one environmental, if the seller currently has one, you want a copy of it, okay? Because it helps you know what's going on the preliminary, very basic, very preliminary aspect of that particular property, okay? If the bank comes back and orders a phase one, because that's typically who is the person who does this, the bank, then you can turn around and say, hey, here's my phase one from the seller. Don't charge me $1,800 for a new phase one. There it is right there, okay? The phase one is the most simple thing you can imagine. These engineering companies, which I'm dealing with these engineering companies like you can't imagine, all they have to do is plug in the address of your property and hit enter. And they will spit out a 100-page report about your property because they buy into this database. And they charge you $1,800. So I'm throwing out the number 1,800. That was the last number I saw. And that report says that, okay, this particular property does or does not have any type of environmental issues going on in that particular property. And if it does not, if the phase one comes back and says, okay, yep, it's all clean, then you're good to go. Don't worry about a thing. Phase one comes back clean, you're buying this property. Phase one comes back and it smells a little bit, the bank is going to say, we're going to order a phase two, okay? Now, a phase two, here's my general rule of thumb. If your deal comes back and they say they want a phase two, my quick rule of thumb is unless it's a smoke and hunt deal, you're moving on, okay? I actually represented a client where she was buying a property and it was down gradient. That means you're down the hill from a dry cleaner, a 50-year dry cleaner up the hill. The guy's chemicals had leached into the soil and had come down into this property that she was looking at. The state, it's really the State Department of Environmental Services, whatever state you're in, they're going to come in and they're going to tell you how you need to clean that property up. And the state has already been in on this property. They've had to put things in the basement of the property to clean out all the radon, all this type of stuff. And I'm telling you right now, if that's the case, just run for the hills. Because remember, if you're raising private money and you're using other people's money, you don't want to get into a deal that you can't get out of 5 to 10 years later, because they're looking to get out of this deal at some point. And if you got them into a deal that's got an environmental problem, they're going to have big problems getting out of that deal. So you do not want to get your investors into a bad deal. If the bank comes back and says, oh, we're going to require phase two, just walk. Just walk. Okay, now I'm telling you, that is my general rule of thumb. I have been involved in some developmental deals where we have had some environmental issues, and you work very closely with the engineering company to decide if this is a go or a no-go. And so if it comes back as a phase two, okay, tell me more. But I'm telling you right now, if you're using other people's money, you just don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to have to explain to grandma that her property that she just bought into is on a nuclear waste site. Don't do it.